Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of 413 Outdoors. In this episode we're going to be tying what I like to call the two-man ice jig. It's an ice fly that's super simple, quick, dirty, cheap, and easy to make. But before we get into the actual video, I'd like to just talk about how I'm wiping. I'm deleting all the videos off the channel, except for this one obviously. This is the beginning of the new face of 413 Outdoors. I rewatched all my old videos, had a couple of other people watch them, tell me what they thought, and pretty unanimously came back that they were crap. I agreed to they weren't as good as I could be doing that. So, like I said, we're wiping. I'm deleting all the videos. We're starting new. This is the new video of what I'm calling the new season of 413 Outdoors. So, watch the video. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, smash that like button. Shoot me a comment. If you really like me, hit subscribe. But yeah. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get to it. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. Alright, so to start this fly out, I just have an El Cheapo Eagle Claw Aberdeen hook that I bent the eye in to make it into a jig hook. What I'm going to do is I have a 5/32 copper bead. Oh, don't forget to crush your barbs down. Otherwise, your bead won't fit on. Alright, so once we have the bead mounted on the hook, like that, then we can go ahead and get our thread started. Run a couple wraps down the body. Real easy. And what we're going to do is, for this one I'm going to be using red floss. I'm going to tie in my red floss to the back of the hook here. And a key point, since this is a floss body, is to make the tag end of your floss reach all the way up to where you're finishing the fly. Otherwise you'll have a noticeable bump and drop in the diameter of the body. So I'm just going to wrap forward on the floss. Run back over it again, just make sure she's good and locked down. Make a little half hitch, just so my thread don't come undone. And I can start wrapping. Make sure your floss is packed tight there. And then run all the way up the length of your hook shank. Up to the back of the bead there. Then what you want to do, take your thread, pass your thread over the floss a couple times to make sure it's captured down onto the hook real good. Give her a little trim ski. Take down that there. Then what I'm going to be using for a hackle is I'm going to be using a pheasant feather like that. I'm going to take my pheasant feather, strip off all of these woolly fibers on both sides of the feather. And then on one side of the feather, choosing this side because it has less fibers, I'm going to go and peel all of the fibers off the stem of the feather. Like that. If you miss a couple up there, it's not a big deal. Those are tough to get and it's easy to ruin the feather. So then I'm going to place my feather onto my hook, right back behind the bead. Wrap it down real tight. Lots of wraps. You want that to be on there really good. And that a little snip. And then once again, I'm going to take my thread, make a half hitch behind my bead. And then I'm going to take my hackle pliers. Not necessary by any means, but makes the job a whole deal easier. And then you wrap. Got a little bit of twist on her there. There we go. Don't get discouraged if all the fibers on your feather are kind of matted together and stuck. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a sec. You get that wrapped around like that. And once again, take my thread, make sure I got my feather pinched down. And then with little feathers like that, I find it's easier just to break them off rather than try and cut them. Take my thread, get some good securing pinches in there. But you don't have to be pretty. Back my bead down like that. Couple more wraps. And then just finish the fly off with either some half hitches like that or whip finish. Cut off your tag. Oop. Throw your whip finisher on the floor. Key step. I'm going to move the hook a little bit just so it's easier for me. Then you're going to want to take your thread, restart your thread at the base of the eye of the hook in front of the bead. And you're just going to want to build up a tiny little head there. Just keep the bead from moving around too much. A little bit like that. That's all you need. That's more just to keep it looking pretty. Once again, quick little whip finish. Come on. There we go. Trim off. Your tag ends. I know I'm sure there's probably a couple of you that are looking at that hackle and thinking it looks like crap. And you'd be right. But this little trick, you just take two fingers like that, pinch around the head, and twist the hackle in the direction that you wrapped it on, and then back in the direction opposite of the way you wrapped it on. And you're just going to do that a couple times, pinching pretty firmly. And what that'll do to get your fibers nice and splayed. No need to use a bodkin, no need to get all fussy. It's quick, it's simple, and it works. And that right there is the simple 2-minute ice jig. Any fly fisher is going to know that as a partridge in red. Very simple wet fly, but with the bent jig hook and the little heavy bead there, makes it perfect for getting those finicky panfish through the ice.